Hello friends, the great epic of the Mahabharata begins with King Shantanu, the noble ruler of Hastinapur. In the early years of his reign, he fell in love with the divine river goddess Ganga and married her. However, due to a broken promise, Ganga left the king and returned to her celestial realm. Grieving, yet bound by duty, King Shantanu later found love again in Satyavati. She was a beautiful and fragrant maiden with a mysterious divine past, born to a fisherman. Together, they were blessed with two sons, Chitrangada and Vichitravirya. I have made a video on how Satyavati came to possess a divine fragrance and eventually married King Shantanu. If interested, you can watch the video linked in the description. After King Shantanu's death, Chitrangada, the eldest son, ascended the throne. He was a brave and skilled warrior, proud and confident. His life was cut short too soon. In a fateful encounter, he faced a powerful Gandharva. They are celestial beings known for their strength and pride. The Gandharva who fought with the prince also bore the same name. A fierce duel ensued between the mortal prince and the celestial warrior. Despite his wealth, Chitrangada was slain in the battle, leaving the throne of Hastinapur vacant once again. With the kingdom in need of a ruler, Bhisma, the son of Ganga and Shantanu, and bound by his terrible vow never to marry or take the throne, took responsibility. Though he had renounced his right to rule, Bhishma was deeply committed to the welfare of Hastinapur. He crowned his younger brother, Vichitravirya, as the king. When Vichitravirya came of age, Bhishma took it upon himself to find suitable brides for him. He heard that King of Kashi was holding a sambar. It was a ceremony in ancient India where a princess chooses her husband from the assembly suitor. The sambar was for his three daughters of Ambika and Amalika. He had not invited the royal family of Hastinapur, which was a grave insult. Bhishma rode to Kashi alone, his weapons gleaming and his resolve strong. He stormed the ceremony, defeating all the assembled kings and princes in a magnificent display of power and carried the three princes away in his chariot. The kings who followed to stop him were no match for Bhishma's might. Upon reaching Hastinapur, Bhishma intended to marry the three princes of Vichitravirya. However, the eldest Amba said, "I cannot marry your brother. My heart belongs to King Shalva. I was to choose him in Sayambara." Honoring her wish, Bhishma let Amba go, even though she was rejected by Shalva in shame. Amba's story would become one of tragedy and vengeance. For now, Bhishma focused on the remaining two sisters. Ambika and Ambalika were married to Vichitravirya. The young king was enchanted by his wives and spent his days in joy and pleasure. The fate had other plans. Soon after their marriage, Vichitravirya fell gravely ill. Despite all efforts, he could not be saved. He died childless, leaving no heir to the throne of Hastinapur. The kingdom was thrown into crisis. There was no prince to continue the royal lineage. Bhishma, bound by his vow, could not marry or have children. Satyavati, now a queen mother, knew something had to be done. She thought of her firstborn, Vyasa, the great sage and the son of Dhritarastra. Long ago, when she was a maiden ferrying travelers across the rivers, the sage Parashara had been taken by her race. Their union had produced Vyasa, who was born immediately on the river bank and left to live a life of asceticism and wisdom. Satyavati summoned Vyasa and explained the plight of the kingdom. She begged him to perform the ancient practice of yoga where a learned sage fathers children with the widow of the king to preserve the royal lineage. Vyasa agreed out of his duty to his mother and to Dharma. He warned her, "Mother, let them know who I am. My appearance may frighten them, for I have lived in the forest and know no luxury." Satyavati first went to Ambika. She explained the situation and told her that a great sage from the visit her tonight. Ambika, though reluctant, when Vyasa approached her while in appearance with matted hair and glowing eyes, she was terrified. She kept her eyes tightly shut and made that tight. Vyasa came to Satyavati and said, Mother, your daughter-in-law was so frightened that she did not open her eyes. The child she will bear will be strong, but he will be blind. Satyavati was dismayed. How can a blind man rule the kingdom? She lamented. She then approached Ambalika and asked her to go next. Ambalika too agreed. When Vyasa entered her chamber, she turned pale with fear. Her face drained of color. The next morning, Vyasa told his mother, the child born of Ambalika will be noble and intelligent, but he will be pale in complexion and weak in health. His name will be Pandu. Still unhappy, Satyavati wished to try once more. Ambika and Ambalika were both too frightened to meet Vyasa again, so Ambalika sent her maid in her place without telling anyone. This maid was calm and composed. When Vyasa entered the room, she welcomed him with kindness and devotion. She did not flinch and her heart was free of fear. Vyasa was pleased. Next morning he told Satyavati, the son born from this union will be the wisest of all. He will be righteous, just and free from passion. He will understand Dharma deeply and guide the kingdom with his wisdom. His name will be Vidur. And thus 3 sons were born to continue the lineage of Hastinapur. Ambika gave birth to Dhritarastra, the blind prince who would grow to be powerful but unable to see the world around him literally and sometimes morally. Malika gave birth to Pandu, pale in complexion but a skilled warrior and a great ruler in his time. And the maid gave birth to Vidur, the wise and just counselor, who would grow to be a true guide to the kings of Hastinapur. Though not born of royalty, Vidur's intellect, calm temperament, and knowledge of Dharma made him prominent and figure in the Mahabharata. His presence ensured that justice and wisdom still had a voice in the corridors